In case you haven't noticed, the future has arrived. And it's brought us a vehicle that can park itself, update its own software, and politely tell us when we're tired. But what it can't seem to do is make us feel anything. Hi, I'm Larry Printz, Associate Editor at WeTalkCars.com, and it's time to talk about making autos great again, about how modern car design has lost its nerve. Now, you've no doubt talked to an aunt or uncle or someone who had a car way back when, and they'll start talking rhapsodically about this old vehicle they had in high school. And every generation thinks that the cars of its youth were masterpieces, and everything that followed looks like rental car inventory. The truth is considerably messier. The 1950s became intoxicated with chrome tail fins and enough jet age optimism to make every Plymouth resemble an Air Force experiment. The 1970s drifted into formal styling, opera windows, and federally mandated bumpers that looked as if Detroit had declared war on parallel parking. The 1980s produced enough square sheet metal to keep geometry teachers happy for a lifetime, while the 1990s rounded every corner until entire parking lots appeared to have been molded from the same bar of soap. Cars have always reflected their era, and the difference today is that we live in the age of the SUV, and the SUV is about as open to artistic expression as a milk carton. Now, a sedan gives a designer three boxes to play with: a hood, a cabin, and a trunk. There's room for proportion, tension, elegance, and a bit of swagger. A coupe can crouch, like it's ready to pounce before the engine starts. The modern SUV gets two boxes. One contains mechanical bits, the other contains everything else. It's supposed to be practical, roomy, comfortable, and able to carry children, dogs, luggage, hockey equipment, mountain bikes, and enough bottled water to survive a minor apocalypse. Americans love them. Consumer demand isn't the only constraint. Designers must also satisfy crash standards, pedestrian safety rules, emission requirements, battery packaging, aerodynamics, manufacturing costs, and electronics. The designer's pencil no longer simply sketches dreams, it negotiates treaties. The result is a parking lot full of vehicles that are different underneath, but remarkably similar in silhouette. They aren't bad cars. Many are brilliant. They're simply unforgettable in all the wrong ways. Compounding this problem are designers who spend as much time looking at each other's designs as they are creating their own. One company debuts a giant grille, and suddenly every SUV has a facial expression that suggests it just smelled something awful. One automaker unveils razor thin LED headlights, and soon enough, every design studio is sketching angry eyes. Think about it: black roofs, flush door handles, full width light bars, fake air vents, wheel arch cladding. Automotive styling has become the industrial equivalent of teenagers deciding what to wear after checking out everyone else's Instagram feed. If you remove the badges from most modern SUVs, the average person couldn't tell them apart. Yet the biggest problem really isn't regulation or competition. It's courage, or rather, the lack of it. Once, a design chief could walk into a boardroom, unroll a sketch, and say, "Trust me." Today, every proposal runs the gamut, from market research to focus groups to competitive benchmarking, cost engineers, lawyers, and executives who would rather approve a second rate styling sketch than defend a controversial design. If a car looks too different, someone worries that it won't sell. But if it looks familiar, someone else points out that familiarity sells. Guess which argument wins? Guess who does not lose their job despite the new models in different demand? Executives will argue that automobiles cost billions to develop and that no responsible company can afford to gamble on bold styling. And they're right. But they're also explaining exactly why so few modern cars have become icons. The irony is that cars we remember weren't created by people trying to not make mistakes. They were created by people willing to make them. Modern car designers aren't lacking in a talent or imagination. They've just run out of nerve. Remember, Harley Earl didn't ask permission before putting tail fins on a Cadillac. Gordon Burig didn't wonder whether the Cord 810 would survive a focus group. Bill Mitchell didn't apologize for the 1963 Corvette. They created automobiles that forced everyone else to catch up. That's what great designers do. They build cars that force everyone else to rethink what an automobile can look like. And here's the upshot. Today's industry doesn't need another retro badge, appearance package, illuminated logo, or full-width LED light bar stretching from one taillight to the other like an airport runway. It needs nerve. The automobile has always been about anticipation, aspiration, and the completely irrational moment when you park it, walk 10 steps away, and then feel compelled to turn around to take one last look before you head inside. The journey matters, but so does the machine that makes you want to take it. I'm Larry Printz for WeTalkCars.com. Happy motoring!